And good afternoon, everybody. Chris Bartell here, Marketing Director for the Cascade Pacific Council, and welcome to today's weekly webinar. We're doing these Wednesday webinars every Wednesday at noon, and welcome to it. Thanks so much for joining in today. Today, we are going to cover some fantastic new Fall 2021 unit recruiting and marketing tools from the CPC as well as national. There's just tons and tons and tons going on right now, and which is really, really exciting. I know it's almost mid-August. We're getting down to the wire here, going to get ready to start school. I know everybody's finishing up summer and all of that. There's just a lot of great things happening. So just want to share what's going around the horn here first in terms of news around the council, the latest news from the CPC. And if you've never tuned into these before, by the way, thanks for joining us today. For those of you who are on here live and those of you who are on Facebook here, really appreciate it. And for those of you who are not here, what you get to do anytime is you actually get to listen to these webinars, watch these webinars. We record them, post them on the website every single week. And we also have audio versions, kind of like I've mentioned before, so you can just listen to it too. So my hope is that even if you just listen to the first few minutes any week, any week in and week out, you can just listen to the first 5 minutes and get the latest updates, news around the Cascade Pacific Council, and get some deadlines, information that's really, really important. So let's just go around the horn here and talk about what's going on around the CPC. So we have, for those of you who missed it, we've had Snack Attack is underway as we speak. You can go to cpcbsaorg/snack attack. You can see our little gentle Bigfoot over there in the corner. That's the feed the beast, as we like to say. You got to feed that savage beast all that popcorn and goodness that we get from Snack Attack. So you can go to cpcbsa.org/snack attack for the latest on that. Also, really important here is tomorrow night we have our first summit and district roundtables of the new year, of the new scouting year. So join us for that. There are links that have been sent out via email to everyone in the CPC. And you probably also have received emails from your district as well. So check out the links for that. Also, August 28th, we have Rangemaster training. September 1st is the deadline for what we talked about last week at last week's webinar for ReadySetScout. It's really the kickoff campaign. I'm going to go over that a little bit today, a little brief overview, and how that sort of fits in with all the rest of the sort of marketing and recruiting tools and all that kind of good stuff here. And so you can watch last week's webinar on the details, but I'll give you a little bit of the overview this week. So there's that. Also, on September 9th, we have another roundtable. So we're doing these every month, of course. And you're going to see here, if you watched last week's webinar, or we're going to talk about today, is September 19th is the deadline for these gift card referrals. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. Sort of an incentive, if you will, to get folks into scouting, get these kids scouting with us. I know so many of you have had, it's just been a crazy year, right? Crazy 16 months. Oh my gosh. But I've been at camp the last few days, a variety of our camps, and it was just so fantastic to see everybody out there and having a blast. And I hope that all of you will join us for that for next year. And speaking of which, check this out. So there is so much going on here. Summer Camp 2022 reservations are now open. So you can actually see all of this on the website. So you go to the website, you see the navigation there, go to adventures, and you'll see all of this. So you go to reservations for summer camp is now open. So check that out. Family camping reservations are also now open. Weekend camping reservations are also open. We also have weekend horse rides for scouts and families. Oh my gosh, I was at Butte Creek, and all these families were so excited to get back out there and get scouting, but also to ride horses. So they are really, really excited to get to do some weekend horse rides with their family. So that's great. Also coming down the pipe here, Merit Badge University, University of Scouting. We're also, I know there have been a lot of questions about winter camping. So for those of you who are new to the Cascade Pacific Council, we have these amazing winter lodges. So we're trying to work out all the details for those as well. If you've never been, there's lots of inner tubing and snowshoeing, and oh my gosh, it's just fantastic. I just love it. So you can go to the website, cpcbsa.org, for all of that. We also put all these links in the emails. So we send out after the webinar tomorrow on Thursdays, you'll receive an email with all the links and things like that of everything that's going on. So we'll post that as well. All right, now let's get into the nitty gritty here. For today's webinar, we're going to talk about all the great unit recruiting and marketing tools. Now, one thing I'll say is that We're sort of changing tacks here a little bit because we kind of want to really get everybody into the idea of being able to focusing on recruiting year round, of just really think of it as welcoming kids into scouting. We have this amazing, unique thing here in the Boy Scouts of America where we get to invite boys and girls, kindergarten on up, and they have fantastic adventures. They just learn with their hands, actual real world activities and skills, and it's just fantastic. And of course, they just grow. And as like we like to say, as grit starts here, especially in Cub Scouts, and then once you're in Scouts BSA, grit lasts forever. So it's just really fantastic, and it is so unique for those of you who have been involved. You know how unique it is. So many of you are just so passionate, have been scouting like crazy despite COVID and all that. And it's just so heartwarming to see. And also for those of you who are brand new, you're going to have a great time here at Scouting. So welcome to it. All right, let me share with you a couple things here. Here's our plan of attack today. So I'm going to go over, like I mentioned, a little brief overview of the fall kickoff event, which we call Ready, Set, Scout. This is a theme from the National Boy Scouts of America. Everybody's going to be around doing that, so it's going to be really, really great. There's a lot that's going to be happening around this. We also have some new recruiting tools that you'll see from the Boy Scouts of America and some new recruiting tools from the Cascade Pacific Council. And for those of you who saw this in your email, there's a special offer on how to build a new unit website. This is going to be really, really great. Been working with the folks at Wix, who is a website builder program, website hosting program. So I'm going to share that with you at the end. All right, let's jump into this. Let's do just a quick, brief overview of Ready, Set, Scout. And again, you can watch all the details at the last week's webinars. You can see that on the website, actually on the homepage. If you go to the homepage of cpcbsaorg, you scroll down, there's a link to webinars down there. So you'll see that. All right, here, give me 1 second here. We're going to go into this and I'll share with you some web pages, things like that. But let me give you a brief overview of our version of Ready, Set, Scout here. What we wanted to create was just sort of a really easy way to ease people back into meetings and scouting and welcome people into scouting and just kind of create think of it as a little happy hour, if you will, for scouting. So what it is, a simple, fun, easy to host one-night pizza party. And it's just a kickoff. So it's an easy kickoff to just welcome people back into scouting. And we want this to be done in cohorts. So how this works is the week of September 13th, we're actually going to post a 15 minutes of awesome video, and you're going to use that in the program. So that's going to be available live, if you will, or you can just watch the recording of that anytime during this week, the week of September 13th. And what you're going to do is we want units to host a cohort size, a den or patrol size activity, a pizza party, if you will, at a venue of choice. All you need really is a laptop or a TV and a place to eat pizza. So you could do this out on your patio, on your porch, anywhere you can get a hot spot, if you will. You could even do it that way too at a park, and just pick a spot for that. And we want this to be small, and I'll explain to you why. So we really want you to be able to invite some scouts and some friends, but make it a small unit thing, because here's what happens. Basically, you sit around and eat pizza. You invite your friends and say, hey, you want to come over for a pizza party? And they say, sure, why not? So you're going to sit around and eat pizza. You're going to watch our live show, if you will, our 15 minutes of awesome that we'll be creating here that we'll share with you on those dates. It'll sort of be an overview of scouting and the fun we've been having despite COVID and the adventures all of you have been having at Scout Camp. I actually have something I'm going to ask you for is some help here, because I want to share all the awesome things you've been doing. So we'd like you to create just a little slideshow just to be able to easily talk about what kind of activities has your unit been doing, maybe during the last year, but also previous years, and what you're thinking of doing in the future. Because I think it gets everybody excited about what is scouting like in your scout unit. That's what we want to share. And then you can share your stories and whatnot. And then we'll have some fantastic prizes and giveaways and things like that. Prizes? Did I say prizes? Yes, I did. By gosh. What we're going to do is you get to order basically a party pack. Explain that in a second here, from the Cascade Pacific Council. And you register for this by September 1st. That's the deadline for your little kit here. And what you're going to receive in this kit is a list of prospects. Some of you will actually receive a list of folks who have actually signed up on the cpcbsaorg/grit page that we've been talking about over the last year, or in Be a Scout for those folks who have signed up through Be a Scout, or folks that have dropped from scouting just over the last year. You're going to receive a list of those. You'll also receive a $30 Domino's gift card. So that's why we're saying a little intimate, small gathering, because for multiple patrols and multiple dens in your scout unit can actually do this. So we want it to be small and really a one-on-one kind of thing as much as possible. And also, we will have in this party pack our giveaways. We're going to have an Algene bottle and a fun little compass and thermometer. We'll have lots of stickers and parent guides and things like that. So it'll be really, really fun. Also, here's kind of the special bonus here is that new scouts and their friend who referred them actually get a $20 Scout Shop gift card if they join by September 19th. So it's kind of by the end of that week, if they join, they actually get a gift card, which is great. But we do want this to just be a fun event to invite people into scouting. And of course, many of you are already planning other join nights and things. So this is supplemental to that. For those of you who had not had time to plan a join night, or it's been sort of touch and go as to what you're doing, hopefully this is just an easy way to kind of create a welcoming into scouting kind of event. Now, all you need to do as a unit is basically choose an ambassador. We call them an event ambassadors. Just choose a parent in your or an alumni in your group in your unit to register at cpcbsaorg/ReadySetScout. That's where you're going to go. You can actually go right now, cpcbsaorg/ReadySetScout, and that's where you'll sign up. You're going to choose a venue. Then you're going to choose a venue of where you want to host an event. You'll prepare a little slideshow. Shoot, you can have the scouts do it, right? You can have scouts create a fun slideshow. They're professionals at this by this point, aren't they? I guess we all kind of are, but let the kids do it. It'll be great. And then you invite a few parents. We literally a text invite to some parents that you want to invite, just something really, really personal is what we really want this to be, is a personal event, and then prepare for some fun. That's really what it boils down to. Now, of course, COVID is still challenging us, but we're scouts by golly, and we have grit, and we've been pivoting like crazy. So just so you know, we have a contingency plan in place. We're really following all the recommendations that our COVID task force recommends to us. We'll keep you up to date as what we recommend for everything. We're watching all the state guidelines, of course, and everything's going to be based on the current state of affairs nationally and in the state, and county rules, of course. And, the Cascade Pacific Council is a little bit unique. We have 18 counties, but also we're in 2 states. So we kind of have a lot of logistics to work out. But here's a neat thing is that we basically have a week left of summer camp, around a week left of summer camp. And so far, no Scout-related events there have been no outbreaks of COVID at any Scout-related events or summer camps. So that's just kind of an interesting point to note. And really for this whole thing, it's about communication. So we'd love to have you share this idea, this Ready, Set, Scout kickoff with your parents, with the scouts, and say, hey, would we like to do this? Are we comfortable with this kind of thing? Or what are we comfortable with? So really talk to everybody about that, because we want everybody to feel good about this. Some people may want to do it all digitally. That's okay too. And maybe hold on to that pizza card for later for Domino's Pizza. So that's fine too. But we just want everybody to have some fun here and kick it off in a really warm, inviting way. And of course, worst case scenario, you can have your pizza party at a later date, like I mentioned, but what we'd really like to do is just move forward with this invitation, this welcoming, this idea of welcoming your friends and your scouts' friends into scouting. That's really what it boils down to. All right. The other thing is, like I said, we're doing this 15 minutes of awesome video at the beginning of this little kickoff, right? So what I'd love to have you do is text me your photos, videos, highlights, whatever you have. I know you've got some on your phone. I saw families taking pictures, and I've seen video on Facebook. So text it to me. You can scan this little QR code right there, or you can text me at 971-337-5922, or you can email them to me at chris.bartel@scouting.org. But I know how easy it is to just pull up that phone and choose your favorites and text it to me. That'd be just awesome. And you may be featured in our 15 minutes of awesome video. And maybe just give me a little idea as to what Scout unit you're in, what event you're at, or what camp you were at, or things like that, and what the kids are doing. You'll see that actually. You click on this, or you scan this QR code, and you'll see there it has a little message that will get sent to me, and you just edit it and attach your picture. So, and then of course you can save my contact info in there and call me anytime you want. So anyway, there's that. So please text me your favorite photos, videos, just your highlights for the year. That'd be fantastic. And don't forget, really the action item today is to order your ReadySetScout kit at cpcbsaorg/ReadySetScout. So make sure you do that. Okay, then after you do your ReadySetScout night, what you can do is you can order/download materials at cpcbsa.org/recruiting. And then what we want to do is just continually re-invite people to come into scouting, to join your unit, to come and hang out and see what you're doing. What's great is that at the cpcbsa.org/recruiting, you actually have a whole bunch of images and things if you want to try something new, or there's a lot of fun grit things there you can use, and just text them to your friends. Kind of fun, and just really use that to continue inviting people year round to your scouting events and to your scout unit. All right, so more recruiting and marketing tools underway here. Here we go. Like I said, these are tools to invite people any week. What we're going to show you here is National has been creating some fantastic tools with the theme of escape the indoors. Now, you know, but for us, we've been doing grit has been our messaging and our theme, if you will, and it all fits together. Grit is about the whole year, all year round, and grit starting here in Cub Scouts, like I mentioned, and grit lasting forever once you're in Scouts BSA and you've been scouting forever. I mean, think of all the people that you see at camp. So many of them have been in Scouts forever, and I met some great grandparents who had been in Scouts. It's just really, really fun. So grit does last forever. But all right, what I'm going to show you here though is at scouting.org/recruitment. Give me a second here. Let's escape out of this. What you're going to see here, I'll share with you my browser. Really fantastic tools here. Okay. So the theme here with ReadySetScout, which we're using, of course, for our event as well, is they have created a whole ton of resources, assets, tools, some great stuff here. What I'm going to show you here in just a second is all the marketing materials, and as well as a uniform promo. We'll talk about that in a second. They also have a social media planning tool that is basically kind of, think of it as like a Excel spreadsheet on steroids. When it comes to marketing, some units will be able to plan out their marketing based on what's going on throughout the year. You can actually use your unit programming tool and sort of create some social media posts around those themes, if you will. And you can always use images from us as well. And let's see here. Let's scroll down here, because also what I wanted to mention is you're on this webinar now, or you're listening to it, maybe not live, but at a later date. There are some great webinars coming down the pipe here. One is Welcome to Cub Scouting. That's actually happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. So you can join that if you're not joining your roundtable event. There's also a Join Scouting Night Done Right event webinar. So check those out. They also have some really great past webinars here. I'm going to show you here what these look like. There are tons and tons. So you'll see this whole grouping of, let's go to this whole grouping here of webinars that the National's been putting on. Some really great content, really great information there. You can look at the slide decks, the videos, all of that. So make sure you go to scouting.org/recruitment is the actual URL there, and it'll take you to this page. Now, also, of course, what's great is that the Scout Shop is having 25% off a uniform bottoms when you purchase a uniform top. So there's that promotion, and that's going on all the way through October, which is really, really great. But one of the things here that when you get to this page is that you can look at these links to all of the resources, which is fantastic. One of which is this one here, where you click on recruitment. It then takes you to this incredible media library that National has created here. There are all of these wonderful tools, and now we've created some as well. I'm going to show you those in a moment here that are more for CPC, but you can use all of it. What's great is you don't have to really create your own if you don't want. There are resources here like crazy, as well as on the CPC website. So check this out. So there's a whole bunch of, let's click on one of these. All these folders here talk about social media posts. There are email templates. There are flyers. There are different cards and posters and all of these kinds of things. There are tools. There are these videos here. You can actually click on them and watch them here. There are just a whole variety. So what's great is you can actually, even on mobile, you can download these onto a mobile device and you can use them to post on your Facebook or text to friends, things like that. So lots of great resources here at scouting.org/recruitment. So check that out. Again, the link is right down here under marketing materials. There is just some really, really good stuff here. Okay, so there's that. And you'll see there's Escape the Indoors. So when you're inviting people, you can use the Escape the Indoors content. You can use really any of it you want. It's really, really great, and it's free to use. So check that out. All right, next up, what we have here is at cpcbsaorg/recruiting. That takes you, and you can actually scan this QR code for those of you who are watching right now. You can just zap that, and it'll take you right to this page here. And some of you have already been to this. Now, what's interesting too, now remember, for those of you who've already seen this a lot, remember that your other parents that you're in contact with that you want to invite, they haven't seen this material, most likely. So even though you may have seen it, it's kind of like us looking at our website. Oh, I've seen that website 1,000 times because I look at it every day, but other people haven't. So it's a great reminder that maybe you've seen these tools, these images, this content, but other people haven't. So you feel free to download it. Even our grit video that talked about what people did last year during the pandemic, or last summer, we'll have some new videos here as well shortly as we're creating our 15 minutes of awesome. But we'll have more of those. But you can download things. I actually have a link here to the videos from the BSA that I just showed you, to this page here. So there's that. Now, also a couple things here on this page, this main page. What you have is you have all of our social media posts. We have some great examples of just literally you can click and hold on it. And these are great to post on Facebook, really simple. And you can just use them to invite somebody. You can text these to people. Hey, we'd love to have you come and meet us and join us at our event. Now, what I also put in here is some of our stats and facts about, because this is really, really fascinating, I think. And I've been talking to a lot of people about this, that despite COVID, and just in Eagles projects alone, 72,000 hours of community service. I mean, can you believe that? That's during COVID. What other organization has that kind of impact? And it's hard to really think of that when you have you're just in your scout unit or whatnot, but boy, as a whole, we are having this amazing, incredible impact around our community. So it's really a fun fact to share. So anyway, what we have here is we've got example copy for you to text to people, for you to put into Nextdoor. For those of you who are really on Nextdoor a lot, you can use that. We also have, of course, all of these other promo videos. These are fun. You can use them and download them, click them on, load them onto your phone, post them into Instagram. You can put them on your personal Instagram, put them on your personal Facebook, just share it with people and invite people to your ReadySetScout event. And there's promo videos here for the younger scouts, for Cub Scouts, Scouts BSA, and older scouts are here. So we've got all of those. Also, if you want to add a little email button, for those of you who receive an email from me, you see the little button here, the little grit button. It's kind of fun to add to your email if you want, and just add a little information as to, hey, we'd love to have you come to our event, our ReadySetScout event, or to our unit meeting, all of that. What I also want to share with you too is in this section here, the other downloads section. What we have here are all of these flyers. So how it looks here is, I'll just show this page. How it looks is like this. Let me share this. What you have is a flyer, and in this little section here is the who, what, when, where, and questions and contact. Now, we've got some little messaging here. We invite people to get an adventure kit at cpcbsa.org/grit. It's really easy. You can get flyers. What you can then do is you can actually send them to us. There's an email address there, and we will print them out for you. So we'll take care of that for you. We just need you to fill in that information. And as things evolve and change over the year, we'll keep these updated, because that's weird. COVID's still around, so we're still in that. But as it evolves and changes, we're going to have more of these. We're going to have fresh ones. So feel free to use these. But you can also use the ones at scouting.org as well. Some are editable, and you can use those and as flyers, print them out and give them out as well. All right, so there is that. Let's see. What I also want to share with you is there's a bunch of other content down here too. So we've got flyers for Cub Scouts, generic ones for girl troops, boy troops, link troops, and we have actually an interesting flyer that actually has some of the COVID results, like I mentioned, like the 72,000 hours of service. It's just some fun stuff. Feel free to download it and check it out. And what's great for me as your marketing director for Scouts here in the council is that I actually track how many downloads those receive, and that helps me also understand, like, well, what are people interested in and whatnot. And now, of course, you all have my email address and my cell number, so you can always tell me what you need. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's go into what's next. So we have those. The other thing I wanted to share with you is this. We have new promotional signs. So let's go back to this page. This is the one that cpcbsaorg/recruiting. I'm going to scroll up to the top here. If you go to this link here, it says order signs and banners. What's really great is, give me one moment here, is we have, bing, there we are. There are all these signs and banners available. Okay, so we have some examples here. And what we have here is we have some new yard signs. We've got these great banners. They're super fun. You can order one and you can update with your unit information. So what's great is these are vinyl, so they should last all year, if not multiple years. That's the hope. They're big, they're beautiful, they're colorful. We've got some for all different kinds of units, the boys units, girls units, linked units, all of that. So check that out. We've got Cub Scout ones, Scouts BSA ones, and older unit ones. The other thing we have too are these community service banners right here. So you can actually order these. So for those of you who are actually doing service in the community, this is one of the things we really want to work on. Is it's funny, I keep thinking, oh, we're kind of going way back to the beginning of when we needed to promote Scouts in the old school way of like, hey, we're here in the community. Because interestingly, the biggest thing we're hearing here and National is hearing is that people just don't know Scouts exist, and whether it's Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any of that. So it's an opportunity for us to have an impact and have a presence in the community. So whenever you're doing a service project, you can hang these big, beautiful banners up in the park or wherever you're doing something, and just lets people know, hey, we are now here serving your community. We even had a unit down in the Salem area. They were a part of the Ironman race down there. They used these banners because they were actually handing out all the water and oranges and things like that for the race. So that was kind of fun. And so they use these banners. So something to think about. We also have these yard signs too. And what's great, these are paper-based. They're not the old plastic ones, so they're recyclable. Also, you can use them for multiple things. So if you need to order a few of them, you can contact us. You can order them here. We actually have buttons right here. We scroll up here, it says order form, and you can order your Cub Scout materials, order your Scouts BSA. That should say Scouts BSA. I'll change that. And order your materials there. And it's really, really easy. So if we click on it, what it is it goes to a Google form here. And basically, all you do is you fill out all this information that you want. I know it looks like a lot, but we have a lot of things to offer. So you can just click on the stuff that you want, and it'll come to us, and we'll fulfill that order. Some of it will get shipped, some of it will get dropped off, that kind of thing. And we have these little business cards. I mean, there's just tons of fun stuff here to share. So there's that, and that's how you do that. All right, let's see. Now what's next? What we have next is you'll also see, for those of you who are really involved in your district, we're actually developing as we speak a couple things, which are these district event promotion kits. So they have these big pop-up banners. And for those of you who are at Scout Camp, you saw these grit signs where it said the old Burma shave. For those of you who remember what a Burma shave sign is or know what that is or been in marketing, where it was basically a sign that led people into something. So it was a series of signs. So as you drove into camp, what you saw was grit starts here and with these little signs. And as you left camp, it said grit lasts forever. And so what we have are these great signs that when we have a neat event, we're at a park and you have kind of an entrance, what a great way to bring people in is grit starts here. And then as they leave, grit lasts forever. And it's got our logo on it and things like that, but just kind of fun way to present scouting and be in the community. So we have these kits as well. I already mentioned some of the service banners. Also, for those of you who are involved in Order the Arrow, there are Order the Arrow banners as well. The other thing, just wanted to mention quickly, is the other things we're doing from a marketing standpoint here at the CPC is you'll see that we boost content. When you have great stories, share them with us. You may have seen the story about our couple of scouts who are rowing. Fantastic. Check it out on our Facebook page. So those are kinds of pieces, stories that we want to share with as much of the community as possible. So we're sharing those by boosting those on Facebook and whatnot. We're also doing some targeted direct mail and targeted email, actually, to audiences in your to families, parents in your areas as well. And there's always more to come on that. All right, now here we are to the special offer from our friends at Wix. Now, earlier in the year, we did a webinar about Wix and how to create a website. We talked a bit about branding your unit and giving your unit a unique voice, just to sort of differentiate. Because one of the things is you just really want to share it. Be a scout when people are interested in joining. You kind of want to share, hey, what makes us special and unique? What are the adventures we're going on? How can we share that with people? Well, our scout units found that having a website is really, really great. It's a real great way to share, uniquely, especially for people who are not on Facebook, kind of our photos and videos and things like that to everybody. And we've actually gotten leads from it, or we've actually had people inquire. So it's really, really pretty neat. And from a council perspective, one of my goals as marketing director is I really want us all sharing the stories. Boy, if we have 400 or 500 units out there sharing a story a week, that's 400 or 500 stories a week that get shared directly in your community. So it's great, as I mentioned, kind of the moving back to the old school way of having a presence in the community. That presence in the community includes digital as well, right? Because in your neighborhood, there's people seeing your posts and things like that. So the more we do this together, the easier it is, the better it is, the easier it is for us to share the story and to share all about the brand and what we do and how unique the program is. So anyway, what's great is we have a great offer from Wix. It's basically a half price deal for $7 a month or $84 a year. You're going to get a mobile friendly, easy to edit website that has photo galleries and videos and all of this stuff. We also get a custom domain name for free for a year. And so we'll have more information on this, but what we're doing now is asking for those of you who are interested, you can pre-register. And the reason is because my goal is to try and get 150 units on board so that we can say yes and do this thing as soon as possible. So as soon as we get enough units on board, we'll be able to offer this out there. So it'll be really, really great. And all the directions and how that'll work out will come to you once we get the pre-registrations in. So if you actually go to cpcbsaorg/Wix, or if you actually you can actually scan this QR code, it'll take you there and you can sign up for the actual pre-registration for this. And what I'll do is, here, let me just share with you. What's great is that for Scouts BSA, you can actually have one of the scouts actually be a webmaster. That's one of the leadership positions, right? And I'll just share with you. So this is just our website here. It's super easy to update. This is just a single page website. We haven't had to update it much. We kind of update it a couple times a year with our latest and greatest. We have an old video here because, of course, we weren't doing our high adventure trip last year, but what we're doing is we're doing another one this year, so that'll change in terms of the video here. We have a little about information. We have a little COVID update. We've got pictures and whatnot, and we have some messaging. And it's just kind of a fun way to paint a picture of all of the great things that a Scout unit does. It also has contact information. We threw a little quote in here from Teddy Roosevelt, things like that. But literally, this page takes about an hour maybe to build. It's super, super easy for anyone who knows how to drag and drop and slide things around. It's a piece of cake. So, and we had a webinar on that back in earlier this year. So you can check that out at cpcbsaorg/webinars. So that's how that works. So go ahead and you can pre-register for this at cpcbsaorg/Wix. That'll take you to the form that you fill out. That'll give me an idea of who's interested in doing that, because I think it'll be a neat way for us to share our stories with the world. So there's that. And lastly here, let's go to this last slide here, second to last slide here, is just a couple of reminders here. because I know we're hounding on this, but make sure you update your Be a Scout pin with your latest and greatest information. So do that at my.scouting and make sure that you have your latest contact information there. You can update it as much as you want. And actually, the National BSA is giving a special offer to anyone who actually updates their Be a Scout pin here over the next month. So go for that. Also, don't forget to get your party packet. cpcbsaorg/ReadySetScout. That deadline is September 1st, so you've got a couple of weeks. But chat with your parents, with your scouts about doing this, and sign up for the kit. And we'll be sending these out on the week of the September 1st. So also, don't forget to check out those materials that I mentioned at scouting.org/recruitment or cpcbsa.org/recruiting. And don't forget, the Scout Shop has this awesome bonus offer. All right, does anyone have any questions here? Let me just check the chat here. We've got some participants here, which is awesome, and wanted to see if anybody has any questions. I'm not seeing any coming in, so that's great. Let's see here. Let me look on Facebook here real quick and see if there were any. I'm not seeing any questions, so that's awesome. All right, well, hope you have enjoyed this. Hope this content has been great. Thanks to those who are joining us today, who've joined us live. And don't forget, you can always watch these at your leisure and pleasure at cpcbsa.org/webinars. We have all the recordings there. The recordings will happen the day after the webinar, so you'll have that. And that is all for today. Thanks so much. And don't forget to do all these things. Update your Be a Scout pin. Go to cpcbsa.org/ReadySetScout and get your party pack for our kickoff party. It's going to be awesome. Thanks, gang, for joining us today. Really, really, really appreciate everyone being here today. And we will see you next week.